We're here at the MRI offices today because they very kindly agreed to host our annual competition to find the most effective young leaders in housing. It's our belief that not enough attention is given to developing the great talent that comes into the sector, and ourselves and MRI are working together to produce a competition to draw out the best of that talent, see how they work individually, see how they work collectively. We're at the semi-final stage of the competition and thankfully, unlike the Scottish football last night, it hasn't been rained off. I think the calibre of the candidates is actually very, very strong, and I'm struggling to pick out the ones that should go through to the next stage. Very, very challenging exercise for the judges as well as the competitors. Every year we have an annual conference in person and virtually, and I'm very pleased to say that the finalists will appear at our actual on-site face-to-face conference. Looking forward to putting them through their paces, and I'm sure they'll charm and impress the audience of senior housing professionals on the day.
I'm Shauna Hutchinson from Network Homes, and I was the winner of the Young Leadership Programme in 2019.
I'm Tom Leon-Grimes, I work for Orbit Housing, and I was the winner of the Next Generation last year in 2022.
So when I was in the competition, I had to present to the National Housing Federation, and we hosted at the International Housing Summit in Barbican to however many people, I don't remember because it's all a blur, but we were talking about how to strengthen trust within the housing sector and to come forward with a new idea to be able to revolutionise the way that the housing sector works. I learnt a lot from it, and it was great to connect with new people in the housing sector who are really passionate about what they do and how they could advance the sector.
During the competition that I took part in, we had several stages covering a blog around housing quality. We developed a presentation around an idea that we thought would change the sector for the better, which I really enjoyed doing, and my idea was around implementing more technology in properties. And the final stage was to act as the new housing minister, which at the time we had lots of changes in government, so that was very fun to do. And what I'd say, it really broadened my knowledge of the housing sector. I'd worked in it for about 10 years by that point, but what it enabled me to do is really research the issues facing the housing sector and how we can, help that and put a spin on that as well as, kind of broadening my knowledge and pushing me out of my comfort zone to really articulate my ideas to a group of people. And I presented at the first day conference of the HQN.
So it's a very different experience being on the other side of the table. I have to keep reminding myself, remember you went through this, don't be so harsh. But it's also thinking about, what do I want to see from people I could potentially recruit in the future? What do I want to see from new role models in the housing sector? So being able to think, who do I want to know that I have a great team around me, and what are the attributes of people like that? So it's a great experience to be able to be on the judging panel. It feels very strange to say I am worthy or, in the right space to be able to be a judge. So it's definitely an interesting experience. The candidates we've seen today have been absolutely amazing as well. They're all really working together. And I think it's really important within the housing sector to collaborate and learn from each other. So seeing that happen in front of us has been absolutely fantastic experience.
I'd say being on the judging panel it's less stressful than being part of the competition, although it has its moments when we have to decide, in terms of shortlisting the candidates from a really great number of candidates that have come through. Seeing the candidates here today, it really excites me for the future of the housing sector. And like Shauna was saying, as an up-and-coming leader in the sector as well, it helps you to kind of think about the qualities that you are displaying as a leader, and like you say, what you want to see in the housing sector workforce going forward. It's really interesting to hear views from people sort of similar to my age as well, to sort of think, oh yeah, I share that view, and maybe the views going forward will be different around the thoughts and feelings of the housing sector with the new generation that comes in. So that's really exciting to see from such a talented group of people, to really see those ideas starting to come through and sort of shape what the future of the sector is going to look like.
Especially because irrespective of age, we can learn from everybody, and we should be learning from everybody and anybody. So hearing different voices is important to be able to think about what other industries doing, what other sectors doing, that we could learn from, that maybe we've already done in the past, and we're actually seeing how that's influenced the way businesses have changed more widely. So the customer focus, thinking about who's at the end of the phone, how are you personalizing things? Housing have been doing that for many years, and so it's great to be able to hear the different ideas that have come across because people are engaging with society in a different way. So yeah, very, very enjoyable.
Definitely.